We'll go ahead and get started now then. It looks like we have a good number of you. There will probably be others joining, but my name is Jeremy. I just joined on a while ago, and seriously, there's some exciting stuff that's coming along the roadmap here. But not only that, we have some really cool stuff that is already in existence, which maybe you didn't know about, which I'm going to cover right here. All right, so what actually is new in the software? Well, we have, of course, a lot of you probably already know this, discovery surveys. There's advanced reporting, speed optimizations, multiple lead capture with outcome mapping, and a whenever you want funnel type changes, which I'm going to cover all these in depth a little bit here. So, discovery surveys. That is built into bucket.io now, which is really awesome. I was able to get my feet wet a little bit in creating some. Now, if you're like, wow, what is it? Just remind me again. I mean, you have a lot going on in your life, I'm sure, just like the rest of us. So just as a reminder, I'm going to put it in my own little nutshell statement here. It's really what you use to better understand either your market or your product. And by market, it can be either a new market or an existing market, a new product or an existing product. It really is, I mean, the word right there, discovery, that's the key word, right? It's to really discover what it is you need to figure out so you can come up with your optimal marketing plan. Okay, I'm just going to run through it. Once again, I'm not going to go too deep into, this isn't really going to, the intent here isn't to really show you how to do everything, but just showing you what's new. But I will show you a little bit about, where you go. Of course, you go in your dashboard, really self-explanatory. The team really did a great job of putting together this application so it's very intuitive. So of course, you go there to create your new discovery survey. Choose your discovery survey type, either a full page or a button. I'm sure you're all, familiar with this with your segmentation funnels. And then you have your public and internal names, also familiar. How much is a penny worth? I don't know. Just off the top of my head, I decided to put that there. And then, of course, you can optionally add your own internal name. And then, from there, you just build it out. And it's very similar, of course, to your segmentation funnel part. You have your build page where you're going to be able to just do your dragging and dropping, input all of your, your questions, check boxes, your whatever you need to put in there. You're going to be able to design it, configure it, hook up Zapier, all that good stuff, and then publish. Get your link so that you can actually put it out there. The next thing is advanced reporting. And this is actually a really cool feature. And I mean, content is king, right? As the saying goes. And seriously, the more customers that you have, the more you're going to be able to use some of these features. And it's really super cool once you kind of go down this really cool, I don't know if I want to call it rabbit hole, but it's really cool the further you go into it. So what we have here is just a little bit of an explanation. We have participants, completion, and opt-in rate. So with participants, all this means is that the number of people that they started your survey or segmentation funnel, but then they just got distracted by, I don't know, Justin Bieber or something, and they, for some reason, fell off and did not finish the survey. Completions are the people that actually completed the survey, but they didn't opt in. They didn't want to provide any contact information for whatever reason. And then you have your participant opt-in rate, which is, of course, they provide you with their, with whatever information you requested, they provided that information for you. All right, and you have the ability to actually separate your results from discovery or segmentation, which is very important for obvious reasons. When you're looking at your segmentation funnel information, it's definitely going to be you're going to want to use that information differently from how you would use the information from your discovery survey. So that's a really important feature to note right here. So we have you can show all stats too, though, if you want to just kind of combine it all together, that's perfectly fine too. The great thing is it's up to you. It's customizable by you. And there are some fancy graphs here, obviously. And what it does is it kind of gives you a great bird's eye view of the participation progress of your audience, which is pretty cool. And then you can see here, you'll be able to see who your top audience information. And then I really like this page too, where you go to your audience overview. All right, and you can see, oh, we have 2 audiences now. Of course, this is a test account that I used, and there's not going to be a lot of audience information, but you're going to get the idea. Okay, 2 audiences generated by the discovery survey, 5 with the segmentation funnel, and then of course you have that third option of audiences that were created by you. All right, now here's where we can really get a little bit into the nitty gritty. You can dig a little bit deep and do some pretty awesome filtering here. So for instance, I set up this for someone interested in getting a t-shirt, whether it's free or they want to buy it, it doesn't matter. But they can, let's say you want to filter their the results of the survey and by, let's say, size of shirt and color of shirt. But right now we just have size, of course, medium, small, large. But let me go back a little bit. Jumped ahead too much here. What you can do is once you click into those, you can even go further into it, which is awesome. And you can select, okay, whichever, I only have the one segmentation funnel here, but let's say you have multiple, you can select whichever one you want. And then you can select which question you'd like to segment the participants by. And then of course your answers. Let's say, like for me with the t-shirt, you could have, let's say it's a woman wanting to know about, she's interested in getting a blue shirt in size medium or whatever, and you can filter those results and then see what you get. And all you have to do is click that button, use this filter, and it will propagate that information. And once again, right now, this doesn't look exactly robust because it's just me on this because it's a test account, but hopefully for you, you're going to have quite a bit of information right there, or not, depending. It could be you could have set up your questions to where you really want to filter down to a specific, very narrow result, but I'm sure you're probably going to have more than just one lonely email address on there. And of course, you'll have your Facebook pixel tag information if there is any that's going to be inputted there. But if not, like for me, I didn't come from Facebook, so it's not going to show up there. So speed optimizations, that's the next thing that we have here. Now this is just one of those things where we're just going to tell you, I can't really show you unless I got with my good friend Max and got him to actually show some inner workings of the software, which, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't really probably understand a thing. But these guys, the pro engineers here, they really did make some advancements to make things speedier on the back end. So it turns out that some of our customers have been driving so much traffic that we've had to do a bit of an overhaul here, for lack of a better word. And so now surveys and funnels don't just load just as fast, but they even load faster than before. So that's a good thing, definitely, especially as things scale, right? And the really great thing is that we know we can handle the traffic. So I guess the key words here, key phrase is bring it on, because we're ready. We can handle it. Okay, next thing we have on the dock here is multiple lead captures with outcome mapping. Now this is a really awesome feature. I really like this, and I mean, if I can be honest with you, I feel like I need to go out and start a business. Don't tell Ryan this, but because this is really cool stuff. Let's go back to the shirt example here. Now you can set up multiple lead captures. Let's say that a man is taking the survey and he selects, I want a large blue shirt. All right, so you can set up your you can set this up to where the outcome goes to a specific page. You can direct them to a specific page, to an external URL, whatever it is that you need them to be directed to, that's where they go, which is quite frankly awesome because not everything is going to fit into one box. Let's say you have, for example, just to give you a little bit more of an example, someone who is you're doing a test for you want to find out, does my demographic here would they rather go to the Rocky Mountains for a I don't know, a skiing adventure or would they rather go to the Philippines and go to one of the beaches there? Let's say on the island of Palawan. It's really great, by the way. Now, let's say that they choose one of the participants, they choose, well, I prefer hiking and being in the mountains and going skiing in the cold. I don't like warm weather or anything like that. Obviously, the choice there is that, they're going to, when they choose that, you're going to want to direct them to something relevant. So you can set up your outcome to get them to the right place where you maybe show them a travel package to the Rocky Mountains. And of course, on the flip side, if someone shows, you know what, I only like beaches, I mean, there are subtle nuances and you're going to have to, think about that yourself with your plan here when you set it all up. But you get my idea. It's all about relevance here and directing them to the relevant outcomes, which is, like I said before, really, really super cool. So when you go to the publish, you can select your segmentation funnel type, obviously, right? And initially, before when you chose it, you couldn't go back and change it without really, you'd have to create a new survey, right? So now you can change it whenever you want. But a key thing to remember here is if you do change it, let's say in this example, we set up the survey with the full page, right? So the next part, let's say that we want to change it over to a button though. And like you can see here, we have our link and everything. It's all set to go with that. But no, you know what? I'd rather have a button. I want to put that button in my site here. Look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing for whatever reason. And you decide to change it, then you're going to be presented with some information with a page that you'll want to definitely change from the button default text over to whatever text you want. That's of course pretty obvious. And of course, if you see the embed code, you're going to want to take that code and change that up, not change that up, but use that to input into your site. So just make sure you're aware of things that need to be changed once you do choose a different funnel type. But yeah, it's a really cool feature, and it's good not to be limited, right?